Kody Brown has never been a man who can take not getting his attention. That much has always been fairly obvious. Whether he was exiting a difficult sit-down or insisting on getting the final word in front of the sister-wife's cameras, Kody's voice was boisterous, center stage, and impossible to ignore. But now, for the first time in over a decade, that attention he used to bask in like the sun in the desert, it's shifted. And Kody is not handling it well. You see, as Kody's still desperately hanging on to his status as the patriarch of the Brown family, attention has slowly but clearly shifted to three familiar faces: Meri, Janelle, and Christine. The original three, the OGs. And they're not so much moving on. They're really flourishing. What's more, they're doing it without even a sideways glance in Kody's direction. For a guy who used to address family gatherings like his own personal pulpit, this new chapter, where he's utterly excluded from the story, is more than a little humiliating. It's a full-on identity crisis. Sources close to the show report that Kody's been simmering in the background. Reportedly, he's annoyed that the story is getting away from him. He's not trending anymore. His sound bites aren't getting on the front page. And the soap opera that once centered on him, it's being replaced by something far simpler. Meri, Janelle, and Christine living their lives happily, openly, and without mention of Kody. And seriously, that's probably the toughest thing for him. Spend 5 seconds scrolling through their social media, and it's obvious she's radiating. Christine's been globe-trotting around Europe, making tongue-in-cheek predictions about her impending tell-all book. Janelle's bonding with her grandchildren and selling out her t-shirt brand. And Meri, she's slack-drawing on live streams with her bestie, turning cringeworthy jokes into strangely liberating moments. They're hosting giveaways, starting new ventures, and speaking directly to fans, all without involving Kody in any of it. And that silence, it's deafening. One source close to the family described it this way: he used to be the center of their universe. Now they act like he doesn't even exist. And let's be real, this is not any type of silence. This is the type of silence that registers. For a person like Kody, even mockery or criticism still equated to attention. But to be totally ignored, that's a different bag. And it's being done in the public eye with fans jeering from the sidelines. The posts on the OG statuses tell it all. So proud of you. You look so happy and living your best life. Meanwhile, anything Kody is mentioned intends to be accompanied by a wink and a jab. People poking fun at how he's watching it all fall apart from the sidelines. Some call it karma. Others say it's long and coming. But either way, the word is plain. Kody is no longer the central figure in this tale. Nevertheless, Kody doesn't seem ready to exit stage left. Not softly, anyway. Rumor has it he's been attempting a re-entry already with a proposal for a standalone special. Yeah, sources say he wants to build his reputation, get his take on things, but if he really believes Meri, Janelle, and Christine are going to sit back and let him rewrite history and not say a word, well, he could be in for a wake-up call. Because sometimes the loudest message isn't screamed, it's simply lived. And when those three women hijacked the conversation without even mentioning Kody's name, it wasn't just a quiet power play. It was the moment everything changed. No massive TLC promo, no sensational couchside interview, just genuine unguarded moments of happiness. And those soft glimpses, those have resonated more than anything Kody's spoken in years. One moment, Janelle's lounging around in her pajamas, drinking tea at 5 p.m, and the next, boom, fans are pouring into her comment section. This is the content we need. And they weren't kidding. Meanwhile, on Meri's side, her live sessions with friend Jen, not mere jests. Those streams have become solid gold to audiences. And then there's Christine posting stunning travel shots that aren't merely pretty. They're powerful declarations. I'm free. I'm happy. I've moved on. And insiders say this quiet, unspoken alliance between the three original wives, Meri, Janelle, and Christine, is what's really got Kody spiraling behind the scenes. There is no tell-all podcast, no tearful sit-down interview, not even a salacious article humiliating him on national television, at least not yet. But every single one of their posts is a kind pushback. They're not out to battle Kody head-on. They don't need to. All they have to do is prove that they're more than okay without him. And let's get real, they're more than okay. The entire dynamic has been turned upside down. Kody used to believe the women were in need of him in order to be interesting. But the reality, it's playing out for all the world to see. He's the one who needs them in order to remain relevant now. And fans have caught on big time. Social media isn't just responding, it's toasting. Threads, posts, comments, all filled with women celebrating their glow-ups. They're quoting Janelle's understated one-liners, pre-ordering Christine's new book, and basically begging Meri and Jen to make their hilarious live streams a full-fledged podcast. A fan wrote, "It's like they've been holding their breath for years, and now they're finally exhaling." Someone else chimed in, "These women are funny, relatable, and healing out loud." Meanwhile, Kody's just pouting in his velvet jackets. But what actually appears to have driven Kody into a frenzy, say sources close to the matter, is the eraser. They're no longer hitching their wagon to his name. These women are forging their own identities, establishing brands, platforms, and fan bases that don't require Kody at all. That fact, insiders claim, has precipitated more than one private breakdown. One producer even shared that Kody stormed out of a meeting when he found out fans were more excited about Meri's skincare hauls than anything he had to say about polygamy. He reportedly slammed his water bottle on the table and snapped, "This is my show." And in another moment, off camera, he supposedly accused the women of purposely cutting him out for attention. But here's the catch. That assertion only serves to make the point. The OG3 don't need to leave him out. They're simply living their lives. And that in itself is keeping the light shined far, far away from Kody. Each time Christine shares a sunrise from her travels or Janelle posts a smiling moment with her family or Meri giggles at one of Jen's cringy jokes, it all reminds fans these women were the essence of the narrative the entire time. And that's when things got really complicated. Following rumors from the people of Flagstaff, Kody took it upon himself. And characteristically, Kody went big. He needed a stage, a light, a meticulously produced solo Kody episode to once and for all set the record straight. Sure thing. Reports claim he made the call, picked up the phone, and made a frank request. Provide him with a solo special all by himself. No Meri, no Janelle, no Christine, no squirming flashbacks or complicated family drama. Just Kody under flattering lighting, reminiscing about the past, spouting his regrets, and let's get real, trying to clean up his name. To Kody, this was the solution. A moment of redemption. His method of putting a stop to the bleeding, dictating the terms, and taking back his voice in the conversation. But here's the thing, no one seems to be asking for it. Behind the scenes, production sources say the reaction was lukewarm at best. A few eye rolls, a couple polite nods, but according to one insider, there just wasn't much interest. Fans aren't showing up for long-winded monologues anymore. They're tuning in for Meri's sly humor, Janelle's new business ventures, and Christine's inspiring personal growth. But Kody, he simply can't seem to embrace that change. He still thinks the show was constructed on his shoulders, that the public cares about what he has to say about family, obedience, loyalty, and his tired old argument for being head of the household. But the reality is the audience has evolved, even if Kody hasn't. They wouldn't be famous if it wasn't for me, Kody allegedly boasted. I put them on the map. Meanwhile, Kody is busy trying to recast history. TLC appears to be quietly ting the numbers, and the numbers don't lie. Christine's book tour is all over the headlines. Janelle's merch, sailing off the shelves, and Meri and Jen's hijinks on social media, they're garnering more traction than some real clips from Sister Wives. If you're a network executive trying to determine where you'll put your next wager, things are beginning to look a lot less like The Kody Show and a whole lot more like the OG3 universe. Nevertheless, sources indicate Kody's not quitting. He's fighting for that solo special, allegedly pitching over-the-top titles such as Kody Unfiltered or The Real Patriarch. And wait for it, he even offered to interview himself if nobody else wanted to sit down with him. Yep, let me talk uninterrupted for once, he allegedly said. And let's be real, that sentence alone likely raised the alarm for everyone in the room. What's more fascinating, however, is the reaction of the ex-wives. Not out in the open, naturally. They're too smart for that. But the fans are sure the dig has been made already, just in their own subtle, elegant manner. Meri quoted something mysterious about individuals who attempt to rewrite history when they don't approve of the facts. Janelle published a picture of her garden bursting into bloom with the quote, "If it's not growing, prune it back." And Christine, being true to character, she didn't have a thing to say. She simply published a video of herself spinning around beneath the Eiffel Tower with a caption regarding things to be thankful for and new beginnings. It's the quietest form of resistance, but done with style. They're not dragging him down. They're rising above him. And somehow that might sting more than any public call-out ever could. Even so, if Kody does go through with this tell-all special, the OG3 may not be able to remain silent for long. Because although they've maintained things dignified on the surface, let's not forget these women lived with this man for years. They know him. And word on the street is they've got receipts. If Kody attempts to distort the narrative too far, those long-held truths may end up coming spilling out. And speaking of surprises, let's talk about Meri and Jen, the unexpected comedy duo taking Instagram by storm. Of all the post-divorce glow-ups Kody never saw coming, Meri's might be the one throwing him the most off balance. Because this is not the Kody Brown we used to see years ago. Quiet, tearful, struggling to keep a breaking marriage intact. No, this Meri is a different animal altogether. She's quick-witted, witty, and mercurial. A complete wild card with a devoted fan base who now watch solely to hear what she'll say next. And the cherry on top, Kody's not even a footnote in her material. She doesn't mention him. Blessedly, not even by mistake. He's been erased from the script. Remember the lady who previously begged for his attention? She's now making jokes about bras older than her children without breaking stride. She's lighthearted, nonplussed, and living her best life. Meri and her best friend since forever, Jen, have been live streaming together as their unofficial duo name, Salty Birches. Whether that's a brand, a joke, or a bit of both, fans don't have a problem with it. What they do care about is the chemistry. And boy, do these two have it. Meri's deadpan and Jen's off-the-chain energy are like a perfect storm of fun. One minute they're critiquing products, the next they're in stitches over innuendo, and the next thing you know you're laughing too hard to care. It's honest, easy, the kind of stuff you feel like you're just seeing for the first time after holding your breath for decades. This is the same lady who sat rigidly beside Kody, afraid to cry. Now she's laughing hardest at jokes concerning risque stickers and saucy underwear commercials. But here's the thing, it's not all fun and games. Belying the giggles, something more is at play. Fans can feel it starting to happen. The Salty Birches chemistry. Not for the laughs alone. It could be a prelude. A gentle introduction. For if you really listen, you can tell. Meri has stories to share. Not just about Kody, but about what it's like to live in a system like polygamy. About power, control, survival, and how women find their way back to themselves. We've already seen a glimpse of that side of her during her emotional interview on Tamron Hall. And those who follow her closely know once Meri starts opening up, it's only a matter of time before the dam breaks. And Jen, she's the perfect partner for that journey. Their humor might feel spontaneous, but eagle-eyed viewers have caught a few pointed remarks that definitely didn't seem accidental. Lines like, "Some people don't like it when women get happy without their permission, and he thought I'd stay quiet forever," have sent fans into a frenzy. Was that aimed at Kody? Was it subtle shade toward Robin? Or perhaps just a cautionary warning shot? Either way, fans are abuzz. And now some are speculating out loud whether Meri and Jen are dipping toes in the water for something larger like a podcast. Particularly given all the comments streaming in that state. Y'all need a mic and a platform. And really they're onto something because even though they never utter sister wives, anyone who's been reading long enough knows. When the OG3 talk, the truth usually gets out. Even in the quiet moments, there's a way the real story finds its way into the cracks. So, just picture it. Meri and Jen, unvarnished, off-cue, and without a network to hold them back. Kody would have no idea what hit him. But if you think that's making Kody nervous, wait, because Meri may be making everyone laugh, but Janelle is sitting on much more. On a dream, a plot of land, and a company that fans are now beginning to watch very closely. It all began with Tada Farms, which Janelle revealed last September 2024. The vibes surrounding it were only positive. A family farm, new start, and a new page entirely without Flagstaff drama or the shadow of Kody. It was sold as a shared dream. Janelle, her daughter Madison, Madison's husband Caleb, and theirs. Based in Landon, North Carolina, the plan included an event space, home building, and flower beds that would eventually grow into a lasting legacy. Support came in right away. Fans adored the concept. T-shirts sold out, aprons sold out, and even a Father's Day grill pack went around as an ideal gift. People weren't just purchasing merchandise, though. They were emotionally investing. It seemed like a next step in real life for Janelle after years of reality TV disappointment. Something grounded, something authentic. But now, nearly a year later, fans are starting to ask questions, and those questions are getting louder. A remark on Tada Farms' Instagram put it bluntly. "Love you, Janelle, but what's going on with the actual farm?" Another person added, "Are you still constructing, or was this a merch shop all along?" Up to now, the tone of followers is polite, but there is also an undertone of apprehension. What's more, selling t-shirts doesn't need acreage, but it was the land where the dream was born. And if no progress on that property can be seen, where's the momentum headed? Janelle herself remained fairly mum, which also contributed to the guessing game. But just recently, Meri dropped by for a Q&A on Instagram in an attempt to put things into perspective. She said the delays were largely due to permits and wild timelines from Mother Nature and local authorities. "There's usually no way to anticipate Mother Nature or government agencies," she wrote. She also indicated that they are finally breaking ground and hope to open to the public in summer 2026, with home construction beginning not long after. Nevertheless, even with that confirmation, Meri acknowledged that they've only just started clearing land and staking out areas for planting. And for a number of supporters, that was a little too late in the game. The fear began to set in. Longtime Sister Wives watchers were quick to compare the scenario with previous Brown family business endeavors that went bust after a glamorous debut. The jewelry company, the fitness app, My Sister Wife's Closet, they all started out with grand aspirations and plenty of hallelujah, but not much follow-through. That's where the conflict is beginning to brew. Because if Ted Farms is going down the same route, what does that mean for Janelle's vision? And more importantly, where's the money? Now, to be as transparent as possible, there is no indication of anything questionable. No lawsuits, no red flags on the money front, no formal complaints, but that hasn't put the brakes on the online speculation. Some of the fans say they witnessed big PayPal donations come in early on. Others have begun speculating about what exactly land development does cost, with some floating six-figure figures. Whether or not those statistics actually mean anything almost doesn't matter, because in cases like these, perception is everything. And that's where it hits a nerve, because Janelle has always been perceived as the level-headed one, practical, transparent, down-to-earth. And now, for the first time in a very long time, Janelle's reputation as the no-nonsense, down-to-earth one is finally beginning to get a little bit of scrutiny. Even with the timing uncertainty around her farm, though, there's one thing that's crystal clear. Janelle has learned how to monetize all that Kody mayhem into cold, hard cash. Her merch line, Janelle says, is a success. It's stealthily turning into a mini empire, and it could be her most daring move yet. She may not be sitting down for confessionals anymore, but she's still in the limelight. And this time, she's dictating the terms. Grown from years of emotional distress on Sister Wives, Janelle says, made the quotes that once fueled drama in Kody's front room into powerful affirmations. Now fans are wearing hoodies and t-shirts proclaiming such statements as "I'm just not in the mood." "I don't need a husband. I need peace." And the classic, "This is not what I signed up for." These are more than witty one-liners. They're rallying cries. Each line is in homage to the lady who attempted to have polygamy succeed and ultimately found peace over partnership. And it's working big time. Fans aren't merely purchasing the shirts. They're sporting them as badges of honor. Social media is saturated with selfies in Janelle apparel with status updates such as, "He thought I wouldn't leave and divorced and thriving." To many women who've been overlooked or stifled in relationships that no longer work for them, Janelle has evolved into something greater than a reality television personality. She's a female icon of strength, of coming out and standing tall. And what lies behind the slogans is astute business. Janelle is not simply throwing out buzzwords. She is selling her freedom. With each purchase, there is a small reminder that she did not simply walk away. She walked on, and she's not in reverse. Of course, Kody views it differently. He's not pleased at all. Insiders say actually he's reportedly seething. Word is Kody's been informing people that he's come up with some of those quotes, and if anyone's profiting from them, it ought to be him. Even a source went so far as to say he went to a lawyer to determine if he could receive a share of the profits, claiming the quotes are intellectual property. People are only buying the shirts because they recall him saying the stupid things. One insider quipped, which really sort of validates the point. Legally, it's a gray area. The dialogue on reality TV is typically owned by the network, not the actors. But when one takes their own words or someone else's remarks out of that, especially where the original purpose was to escape said person, that's more of a moral dilemma than a legal issue. So, might Kody be able to sue Janelle? Possibly. But whether or not it would pass muster is anyone's guess. And for a guy who's already fighting to remain current, picking a fight about sweatshirts may not be the masterful comeback move he imagines. And what about Janelle? She's not backing down. Sources indicate she's doing the opposite, doubling down. She's restocking the bestsellers, adding new colors, and even hinting at new quotes that fans can't wait to have on their next hoodie or crew neck. Janelle left the emotional drama in the dust, packed up the RV, and turned pain into profit. And with each order that's placed, she reminds everyone that the most overlooked sister wife is now one of the shrewdest. But while Janelle's raking in the sales, Christine's been racking up something completely different. Airline miles, book pre-orders, and buzz. A lot of buzz. Kody Brown, the once gap-toothed wife who attempted to keep the plural family on an even keel while cracks developed everywhere around her, is gone. That Christine is gone, replaced by someone completely new, free, confident, and, according to publishing insiders, potentially bound for bestseller land. Her upcoming memoir isn't just a side project. It's turning into a full-on moment. And the build-up. It's already making waves across fan communities and media alike. From what we've heard so far, this book isn't just about memories. It's an emotional reckoning. And as for Kody, he might want to brace himself. Christine's upcoming memoir is titled Sister Wives. And yes, that's the exact name of the show that made the Brown family a household name. Coincidence? Doubtful. This isn't just another TV tie-in. This is Christine's version of events, her truth, and from what we're hearing, she's not holding back. Early reviews point toward the book delving deep to her polygamous childhood, her complex relationship with her mother, and the tender habit of always responding with "it's fine" when it very much wasn't. There's even a promise excerpt teased wherein Christine writes about the shock of wrestling with herself on the show, watching how much she minimized herself, overlooked her own needs, stifled her own intuition, and allowed one man's moods to dictate the whole family's emotional weather. And the kicker is all of this transpired before the marriage even formally ended. Today, however, with the release of the book just a month away, Christine's life is far from the one she departed. She's not merely healing, she's thriving. She just back from another European escapade. This one through Germany, and the fans were paying attention. Included between photos of castles and quaint cobblestone streets, Christine shared with followers a first glimpse at the published versions of her book. The enthusiasm in her eyes, you could sense it. This was a woman who's not only moved on, she's leveled up. Industry insiders note that the buzz has been so intense that the tour team doubled her tour. Initially scheduled for a few cities, Christine is now traveling to prime destinations such as New York, New Jersey, Chicago, and Utah, spreading her tale right in the center of the fan base. And each time there is an update, the rumors increase. Will she finger names? Will she finally bear the truth regarding Kody's most manipulative moments? Will she go on record about the breakdown of the family and just how central Robin was to that? And of course, a hint of skepticism is to be expected. Die-hard Sister Wives viewers remember that this family has balanced openness with keeping things close to the heart for a long time. But Christine's tone in recent interviews has seemed to be different. Her recent statements hint at a sort of unvarnished truth we haven't seen before. And if she actually starts opening up about favoritism, power struggles, the behind-the-scenes nitty-gritty, this memoir might be the most compelling chapter of the sister-wife saga yet. Now, put yourself in Kody's shoes right now. He's preparing to get the record straight. But Christine, she's already half done it in ink with a book deal and an entire tour behind her. And to put the icing on that cake, rumor has it Kody could soon be mailing her a check every month, whether he likes it or not. Talk about poetic justice. As Christine prepares for interviews, readings, and meet and greets, the rumor mill is churning about a secret deal that might have just realigned the family landscape one step further. According to insiders, she and Kody secretly negotiated a child support arrangement for their youngest child. Truly. Yeah, you heard that correctly. Now that Kody has spent all these years sidestepping emotional responsibility and blaming Christine for walking away, he may be the one signing the checks. Nothing has been made official. No public court document yet, but several sources close to the family indicate that the settlement was negotiated in private. Probably so Kody doesn't get any more publicity than he needs just now. And the timing, oh yeah, that really is suspicious. Christine's moving completely into independence. Her star is ascending, her voice is being heard, and her platform is only expanding. So, it's no surprise that behind the scenes, some practical issues had to be worked out. Truly is still a minor. She resides full-time with Christine, and with her mom soon to hit the road for a national book tour, you can bet someone needed to make sure that household was being taken care of. The fact that Kody had paid child support, it went viral on fan boards like wildfire. He should have been doing this a long time ago, wrote one. Another added, it's not even about the money. It's about accountability. And although Christine has said nothing about it in public, what she hasn't said says volumes. She hasn't gloated. She hasn't thrown shade. But if you look at her feed, the message is unmistakable. Joy, stability, fresh starts. That in and of itself is kind of a quiet victory lap. She doesn't have to pull Kody along in interviews or on the internet. Reality is accomplishing everything for her. Now, for Kody, this is not a monetary readjustment. It's a change in reputation. This is a guy who for years imagined himself to be the pillar of the family, the one bringing home the bacon, the defender, the one keeping everything together. But now he's silently sending a monthly check to the very same woman that he also accused of disloyalty. And the poetry of the situation is nearly ironic. After vocally proclaiming he was done being disrespected, he's now officially recognizing that Christine's work as a mother is worthy of real, consistent support. Which is to say, she didn't leave with dignity alone. She left with leverage. And let's not forget the ripple effect this could have on Robyn. If these reports hold water and Kody is now footing the bills for Christine's home, that probably means less money coming into Robyn's. Fans are already wondering, will the designer furnishings begin to dwindle? Will Kody have to scale back on all the driving back and forth between houses? Could this finally be the fissure that cracks the Kody and Robyn bubble? One thing's certain, the woman Kody used to depict as unfaithful, unstable, or overly emotional is currently standing taller than ever, financially, emotionally, and in the public eye. And while she's climbing, he's the one paying the tab. But the actual turning point, that could very well be Christine's book tour stop number 1. Because when she gets up onto that stage and surveys the crowd, there is going to be one person that is not going to be there to cheer her on. Kody Christine's book tour is not a series of events, but a full-fledged victory parade. She's scheduled in some of the largest markets, New York, New Jersey, Chicago, Salt Lake City, and the buzz is growing. Fans aren't coming for an autographed book. They're coming to celebrate a woman who at last stood up, walked out, and told her tale. And what's particularly revealing, it's not about who's appearing, it's about who isn't. No celebratory message from Kody, no indication of co-parenting encouragement, not even a general recognition of her achievement, nothing. The silence, it's deafening. And fans are noticing it. They know why he's absent. He can't be. Not emotionally, and far from it, without having to deal with the one question he's been avoiding for years. Why did Christine need to leave in the first place? And that's where the comparison really comes into crystal clear focus. On one hand, Christine is getting into bookstores filled with fans, being showered with flowers by publishers, and receiving stunning early reviews that hail her voice as raw, real, and very empowering. On the other hand, Kody's social media life has all but come to a standstill. No new ventures, no grand ideas, just the odd fuzzy photo with Robin and some cryptic post about patience or growth. But the digital truth, patience is not trending, power is. And Christine, she's full of it. Even one industry expert likened her book's pre-publication buzz to the sort of response they hadn't witnessed since the first Kardashian memoirs. What is resonating so deeply, they explained, is that she's not attempting to be a victim. She's just telling the truth. Her audience, they recognize themselves in her. That sense of emotional recognition, that's what is making her story go from read to movement. Bookstores are preparing for sold-out crowds. Interviews are being scheduled on top national platforms. Christine isn't simply speaking her truth as a past reality television star. She's entering the spotlight as a voice for women who are feeling stuck, silenced, or uncertain about how to proceed. And Christine's ascendancy, it's taking others with her. Meri and Janelle's own fan bases have also experienced a significant boost since her book was announced. Viewers are rewatching the classic episodes with new eyes, connecting the emotional dots, piecing things together, and filling in the blanks that were always there, just below the surface. Thanks. Here's your next piece rewritten for engagement, clarity, and emotional connection with an adult audience. For longtime viewers of Sister Wives, the reality continues to become more apparent with each week. This was never simply one woman walking out. Christine's departure, the initial string that was pulled from a family tapestry that's now coming undone in full public view. And the aspect Kody never seemed to anticipate that it would be this public and this lopsided. Behind the scenes, rumors are circulating that Kody has attempted to pitch to several different media outlets in hopes of getting an exclusive tale of his own. However, insiders say that the appetite simply wasn't there. Producers were apparently passing unless the women were included. Why? Because Kody's no longer the attraction, and that could hurt worse than any book Christine might write. While she's brightening city after city on her book tour, Kody's phone, it's not ringing like it used to. The spotlight he once held now shines on the very women he judged. And if he thinks this is just a temporary stumble in relevance, he may want to prepare himself because sources close to Meri, Janelle, and Christine say something big is about to drop. Something that could shut the door on Kody's influence for good. Word is the OG3 are not finished. Far from it. While Kody clings to the remnants of a narrative he once controlled, insiders say Meri, Janelle, and Christine may be quietly working on a joint project, one designed to showcase their stories on their own terms. No TLC filter, no Kody in the frame, just them. There have been no official statements, but the rumors are growing louder. Some claim it's a podcast. Others suggest there's a streaming deal in the offing. A few actually think a full-fledged spin-off is in development. Something authentic, unscripted, and entirely independent of the format of Sister Wives. One source who is familiar with a production assistant put it best. They finally realized how powerful they are together, and they're ready to use it. And who can blame them? These women carried around the emotional weight of a marriage that required their silence for years. They suffered betrayals. They concealed heartbreak. They posed for photos while their worlds crumbled apart behind the scenes. But now they're remaking that script, not as supporting actors, but as leads. They're not demanding a place at Kody's table. They're creating one of their own. In the meantime, Kody's universe is constricting. The network, the audience, even his own relatives have moved on. But Kody, he's still frozen in time, attempting to turn back the clock to 2012 when his voice mattered and his opinion was gospel. But that Kody, the one who barked about loyalty, obedience, and respect, is now confronted with the truth. Those same things were never really given to the women he demanded them from. And when their own stories shine more brightly, his recedes into the shadows. What's powerful about this moment isn't the gossip, the arguments, or the Instagram shade. It's the cultural shift. These women have come to symbolize something bigger. They represent reinvention. The choice to walk away from dysfunction, the courage to say enough and actually mean it. For millions of viewers, especially women who felt overlooked, unheard, or erased, Meri, Janelle, and Christine aren't just familiar faces on reality TV. They're relatable heroines, and perhaps that's what bothers Kody most. At some point along the way, the narrative ceased to be about him. The limelight did not merely dwindle. It became a reflection. And the face looking back, it's no longer so flattering. It's the face of a man who underestimated quiet power, who now sits idly by, powerless, while the women he once sought to dominate command the spotlight without him. Now we wait. Will the OG3 make it official and promise something new? Will Kody give one final attempt at getting back into the spotlight? Or is that book already closed, sealed, and signed in somebody else's name? Thanks for watching this video. Let us know in the comment section below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell because believe me, the tea is still brewing. And the next video on your screen.